All right. So, hello everybody. It's currently day 7, not day 8. So, as I would suggest, yesterday, what would have been day 7, I ended up going to bed at like 7 in the afternoon, I guess evening, however you want to call that. When normally I've been programming um, probably 8 to 9, 8 to 10, something like that at night. Um, just because I got like maybe 4 hours of sleep last night, or the night before rather. And a lot of physical labor in the yard. We're setting up like a hardware cloth around the fence to protect or keep my dog from getting out. He's a very small Chihuahua. Probably get pictures of him eventually. He's very cute. Um, considering you know where I'm going with this, I think I touched a little bit on it in the first day when I said that I was going to be working on this. But yeah. Um, so far so good, honestly. Really, when I started this challenge, like I don't remember exactly. I didn't even rewatch that video that I uploaded just because it's genuine, and that's really what I'm aiming for in these videos. Like I even recorded uh, a video like 2 days ago, and I just felt like it was totally unnatural and not necessarily totally unnatural, but more so performative. That's really what I'm going for. That's the word I've been sticking with, performative. Because yeah, I don't know. I don't want to live in that space, and at least not for this, certainly. So I'm yes, trying to make a more genuine recording here. Um, but yeah, back to what I was saying. Going into this challenge, like I think I said something like I'm tired of being in the in between of like knowing that I can do something and not having done it, or something like that. Something like that. That's pretty much the essence of it. Really, is like just because you can do something, like good for you, awesome. But that doesn't really mean much in most of society and space, right? It's like not that you can do something. It's have you or are you currently doing something, right? That's really what's going to get me a job is if like I've demonstrated my capacity to do these things. Like I mean, immediately in the classroom, like I stand out immediately. Anyone who's interacted with me, I'll stand out immediately, right? But where's the receipts, right? That's the idea. So I'm trying to build those receipts. But then also, like, there isn't really a substitute for having done these things, you know? So, even now, like, there are things, there was something I was bashing my head against in, in the project, for like 2 days, right? And it's just a stupid thing about JavaScript that I forgot, where you can just get the key of an object by, in curly brackets, type the key and you set it equal to the object, and there you go, boom. You got the key. And I didn't understand that mechanism, and I'm just copy pasting code from uh, what's it? Node's Postgres hook, their website, right? I was like, and I just completely, I didn't understand what was happening there, and I didn't think to understand it. And the reality is, I probably knew this at some point. I probably knew that that was a thing. Um, I certainly did, and like the gaps that I have to fill, where it's like I'm so far ahead in some areas, but then there's some things that I've forgotten because guess what? It's been like 4 years since I've done any web stuff. Well, yeah, that'll happen. I think this is the first time in my life where really my memory is not like I'm starting to recognize like okay, my memory I'm not as crisp as I was for sure. It's still there, a lot of it, but even still, like it's been 4 years, right? Um, and I haven't really challenged myself in this way, or like in stuff like this, or stuff like this in like 4 years. Certainly philosophy. I've been super deep into that the past 4 years. That's basically what I do when I don't have a computer in front of me, or something super engaging, right? And my job when I was going to school, and prior to going to school even, I was a bookkeeper at local grocery store HEB, which if you know what HEB is, it's the #1 ranked grocery store in America. Woohoo, yeah. For reasons, for real reasons. Like it's great. They don't have them in Dallas. It's absurd. That's changing soon, hopefully. But goddamn. It's like one of the craziest things in Texas. Anybody who's from Texas, you hear him say it. Anyways, I'm not going to tangent, but I worked as a bookkeeper there, and it's like, sorry, just focus. All right, it's like the same job every day, right? Yeah. I mean, there's not much variation going on there. It is just repetition, and like I mean, I've done work jobs like that previously, because or just because like it's easy to get a job there and it pays and whatever. But like I enjoy that because it leaves me space to think and so I really have you know thought about a lot of fascinating problems for the past like 4 years. Which I mean I've been doing this since I was 14. There's a specific problem about the nature of reality that is super fascinating to me and similar to the Vsauce ontology video if you watch that. But the point is, I am rusty and I'm learning the fundamentals again, you know, while also, expanding my horizons as much as I can. And you know, I'm out of order is what I'm trying to get at, right? So like I'm so far ahead in certain aspects. Like I understand all these concepts. Everything that I'm doing is not new to me. I could do this. I mean, again, I built a backend in a couple hours, right? Um, I guess this one took me significantly longer because of issues that I was not contemplating. And I was rusty on SQL as well, and but I'm bringing that back too, and feeling much better now about that. Just give it a day and things come back. But lost my train of thought. The point is, I think what I originally set out to do in this challenge uh, was to, you know, grow the stem of the T developer. This is an idea that I've now fully embraced because it's totally exactly what I've thought that I was aiming for and what I thought I was missing, right? I've got my hands in all sorts of different technologies, all sorts of different things, but I'm not really specialized in any one particular area. And because I don't have like the depth of knowledge in a specific area, and I've been doing this for so long and haven't really gotten anywhere. I feel like, personally, I feel like I haven't gotten very far. Um, like I don't know if it's like what is it, imposter syndrome? Like I never had imposter syndrome ever developing, but I understand. I can see the gap between where I am and where I think I should be, right? Um, and so what I want to do is I want to actually go deep in a certain area. And like at this point, it doesn't matter what area. Like it's web because it's web, right? Like that's just what people in the current age do, really. Honestly, I want to. I've contemplated not wanting to be in web specifically, um, but I don't think that is helpful. A helpful thought process to be in, where it's like, I don't want to do that. Don't be unnecessarily exclusionary, Adam. I I wanna grow, right? That's what I'm growing. All right. So, um, keep trying. I need water. I had some very salty, amazing quesadillas last night, but they were salty, and I'm dehydrated now. But yeah, I think I'm probably gonna do a code review of where I'm at some point. This video I'd really like based on the recording my not my previous recording, but the recording you guys didn't see, right? Um, I really just want to keep these simple and easy and just straightforward, um, and more like a thought process or just documenting what I'm thinking and how I'm feeling. Um, there was stuff that I wanted to talk about though. On missing yesterday, there was a thought maybe I could wake up in the morning, and it's like 3 in the morning, so can I squeeze it by and say, hey, it's still the previous day technically. No, I don't want to do that. All right, I gave myself 2 days, so it's 102 days when I started until like the 1st of January, right? Um, and it's in the spirit of the challenge to allow for, like, initially the original challenge, right? It's in the spirit to allow for one day. If you missed a day, that's fine. Just keep going the next day, but you can't miss 2 days, right? For me, I gave myself 2 days over the course of the entire thing, right? And so I'm like, oh, but the one day, it's like, no, I don't really like if it ends up being past January 1st, that's fine. The spirit of the challenge is that you build consistency, right? And just if I'm like, oh, it's 3 in the morning, can I shift that over? No, all right. That's not in the spirit of the challenge. The spirit is the challenge is to build consistency, like I just said. All right. So I'm really, you know, fine. It's day 7, right? I just had the thought process, like, really, like, what do I want? I don't really. Okay, fine. January 1st. Ooh, it sounds nice. It's the start of the year, and I did 100 days of coding. I mean, yeah, it's nice. Okay, cool. What do I actually care about, right? I want to do this. I want to build the consistency. I want to be, uh, you know, a significant and serious developer. You know, I don't want to, sit in this in between of being able to do something and but not having done it, and then not bridging the gap of, you know, I've solved these problems. Right? I need my receipts. I want my receipts, and I want to actually do things. So there goes my water. Um, yeah, I think that's good. I think I touched pretty much on everything that I wanted to touch on. One thing I touched on this a little bit before, but that I really want to hammer home is, um, I don't know. These videos, I want them to be genuine. I want this interaction. I mean, obviously, super parasocial, whatever. You get that whole thing. But no, this is for me to document just how I'm feeling, like, really, just like on a human level. Um, I was thinking I made some crazy error in one of my projects, and it's just so absurd. That's hilarious. I'm gonna meme on it like crazy. I was thinking of starting this video with like a montage meme session of that, but that's what I went into, thinking that would be the start with the previous recording. But mm-mm, I don't think that's what I want. You know, like I see all these YouTube channels of developers who are like, "Hey, how to get a job? How to do this thing? How to do this thing?" And it's none of it. Watching a YouTube video is not gonna get you to be a developer. All right, I'm sorry. I trust me. Okay, I've been at this for 15 years. Is it 15 years? Okay, not 15. Shit. You could argue 16. You could argue 16, but I'm not gonna argue 16. Okay. Uh, Close to 15 years. Obviously some gaps there for sure. Um, but yeah, I mean, mm, beginning of middle school is when I really started taking off, I'd say. I don't know. It's been a long time. I've been doing this for a long time, you know, and it's not enough to just watch videos, all right? That gap is literally the gap that I'm trying to reverse right now, you know? So, like, there are times when you don't understand a concept and just getting it, like, I'm going to class, like getting someone to sit down and lecture you, or watching a recorded lecture or whatever of a subject is really powerful and important. But that's only if you know what subject you want to study, right? And the thing is, people who want to be developers, like, if you're aspiring to be that, you don't know what the gaps in your knowledge are prior to actually having built something, try and build something and then actually succeeding in building that thing, you don't understand where the gaps are at all. There's no, like, what the hell? I don't know no one's teaching you the macro scope, right? That's something you pick up being in the space. And, like, that's the whole thing, like, why I wanted to go back to school is because people are developing there. And, like, just being in that environment, breeds success in that area. In that area, meaning in the area of computer science, or what have you, if that's what the environment is set up for. I mean, I'm already seeing that. Like, Jesus, I'm doing this. I'm actually doing it. So that's the case. But the point is, like, you know, those videos aren't really helping anybody. I mean, they're helping some people, certainly, absolutely helping some people. But you know, I think there's a disconnect between what they're claiming to do and what they're trying to do and what's actually happening. I think I guarantee you there's a huge sect of the population who wants to be a developer and just watches YouTube videos. All right, I guarantee it. I guarantee it. You want to know what my entire coding bootcamp class was? Not the entire coding bootcamp class, mind you. There are some who actually took that and were really successful. Arguably, I'd say they came into it and I mean they went. But they built things. Right? Anybody who didn't get a career out of that, right? Out of that coding bootcamp, which I think was the vast majority of the students in there, which really sucks. That's the whole thing. I've talked about previously on YouTube, I guess. They were trapped in that they lacked the self-starter aspect of developing, or they lacked the let me tackle this problem and like go and actually tackle it instead of sitting down and just saying, hey, this is what I need to do. Okay, cool. I honestly, I think working a job is easier than anything else because guess what? You got a person above you who's telling you what you need to program when you first start out. They're all right. You make this. Okay, cool, sweet. Right? That's the barrier for me. I think this is going way too long. This video is going way too long. All right, the point is, I want these videos to be genuine, and I'm really happy with where things are going. I've made a lot of progress. And it really is filling in gaps. It's crazy how it totally is just filling in gaps. Like the issue that I had, it was such a win when I got it solved. I was so happy. And then I looked at what it was, and it's so defeating. Like, I just realized, like, wow, I just spent, like, 4 hours on this. Fuck. And it's only 4 hours, so, like, that's not too bad. Like, I'm not programming enough. I'm programming enough. I'm not programming, like, a crazy amount, right? It's like I'm doing, like, just over, like, an hour and a half to 2 hours a day right now. Just because, guys, I got midterms this week, okay? Like, relax. This is so long. This video is so long. Yeah. Yeah, there's so many ideas, dude. Okay. Well, I probably edited this out. I hope I edited this down for you guys. At least a little bit, just because I kind of ranted. Forgive me. Alright. On my recording, it's 18 minutes, so, woo! Alright, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. This is me signing off on week 1. I'll be back at the end of week 2. Awesome. Thank you guys for watching. See you later.